Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first of 3 bowl preview editions here at Deep Fried Draft and the Cheat Meal. My name is Brian Bosarge. We're going to get started. It's a lot of games to get to, and I'm breaking this up into 3 parts. They'll be released. Try to release them every Wednesday over the next 3 weeks. So our normal schedule, but I'm just going to film them all tonight. But tomorrow normally I'll talk about news and such before these videos, but I'm going to do that on a podcast tomorrow instead. But let's start on tomorrow, 12:15, an FCS semifinal. Sam Houston State at North Dakota State, 7 p.m. on ESPN2. A couple players to watch in that game will be, of course, Sam Houston State senior quarterback Jeremiah Briscoe, who we've watched now for like 3 weeks in a row. And for the Bison, senior linebacker Nick DeLuca was primed to be a good pick last year. Got injured early, got a red shirt, and played this year and has played at a high level. He will be at the Senior Bowl. So Nick DeLuca is a player to watch for North Dakota State. On Saturday, 12:16, the Celebration Bowl in Atlanta. Matchup pitting the SWAC and the MEAC champions at the FCS level. It'll be Grambling and North Carolina A&T, 11 a.m. on ABC. For Grambling, NFLPA commit senior running back Martez Carter. I talked about him a couple weeks ago. I think he's a poor man's Tariq Cohen. I don't think he's on that level. But he could be a solid guy to have in a camp. For North Carolina A&T, they have a couple of offensive linemen to watch out for, including one who'll be at the Senior Bowl, number 70, senior offensive tackle Brandon Parker, a 6'7", 300-pound player. Also, they have senior guard number 65, Daquan Blake, a 6'3", 315-pound player. The Cure Bowl in Orlando, 1:30 p.m. on the CBS Sports Network between Georgia State and Western Kentucky. For Georgia State, the player to watch out for is number 10, senior cornerback Chandon Sullivan. He is 5'11", 195 corner. He'll be at the Senior Bowl as well. Joining him at the Senior Bowl will be Western Kentucky senior quarterback Mike White, who I was a little surprised got a Senior Bowl invite. I thought he was more of a Shrine Game player, but he'll be in Mobile. The Las Vegas Bowl between Boise State and Oregon, 2:30 p.m. on ABC. For Boise State, the player to watch is number 1, senior wide receiver Cedric Wilson, 6'3", 188-pound pass catcher. He'll be at the Shrine Game. For Oregon, their senior running back Royce Freeman going to sit this one out. Has had some minor injury issues. He's just going to not risk it. He'll be at the Senior Bowl, but not going to play in this game. Player who I do believe will play is one of the top quarterback prospects for the 2019 draft. For Oregon is their sophomore quarterback Justin Herbert. The other FCS semifinal Saturday, 3:30 p.m. on ESPNU. South Dakota State will be at James Madison. For South Dakota State, Shrine Game invite senior wide receiver Jake Weineke. Had a big game last week, 3 touchdowns. He'll probably need to have a big game again because their senior tight end and Senior Bowl invite Dallas Goedert injured his ankle early in the game last week. They didn't need him, but they will need him this week. If they're going to win, so we'll see see if he's able to play. The New Mexico Bowl on Saturday, 3:30 p.m. on ESPN. Colorado State and Marshall. For Colorado State, senior quarterback Nick Stevens will match up with Marshall junior quarterback Chase Litton in that battle. But the best prospect in this game will be Colorado State senior wide receiver Michael Gallup. He'll be at the Senior Bowl. The Division II championship game on Saturday, 5 p.m. on ESPN2 between the University of West Florida and Texas A&M Commerce will be a first-time champion at the Division II level between these two schools. UWF, this is only their second season of football. And nearby to my hometown, they're in Pensacola, Florida, about an hour drive from here. So that's pretty big, only their second year of football playing for a championship. Texas A&M Commerce, I got my first look at them last week and came away impressed with some offensive players, including NFLPA quarterback invite number 12, senior Luis Perez, a 6'3", 220-pound gunslinger for them. And I also came away impressed with junior tight end number 15, Vincent Hobbs, a 6'3", 255-pounder transfer from Colorado. They also have a transfer receiver, number 7, who caught my eye last week. Can't remember his name off the top of my head, but a couple good players there at the D2 level to watch out for. We're going to go that same night, 7 p.m. on ESPN, will be the Camellia Bowl in Montgomery between Arkansas State and Middle Tennessee. For Arkansas State, a couple of Shrine Game players to watch there is senior edge rusher Devon Rollin-Jones and senior tight end Blake Mack. For Middle Tennessee, junior quarterback Brent Stockstill, probably the top prospect that will play. He won't come out early, but Middle Tennessee's not loaded with NFL talent. Moving on to 12-19, which I do believe will be Tuesday, next Tuesday, the Cherubundi Tart Cherry Boca Raton Bowl. Folks, I thought the deepfrieddraft.com was a long URL. Try typing in Cherubundi Tart Cherry Boca Raton Bowl.com into the computer and see how tiring that gets. But Akron and FAU, basically a home game for FAU in this one. The top prospects in this game, Akron's junior linebacker, who I don't expect to declare, number 5, Ulysses Gilbert, 6'1", 225. And sophomore running back, who's not draft eligible for FAU, is number 5, Devin Singletary. On 12-20 is the Frisco Bowl. This game, the game formerly known as the Miami Beach Bowl, moved to Frisco, Texas, 7 p.m. on ESPN between Louisiana Tech and SMU. Louisiana Tech, their top prospect will be junior edge rusher Jalen Ferguson. For SMU, a pair of junior wide receivers, Cortland Sutton, who is first-round talent, and Trey Quinn, an LSU transfer who's just very productive. I don't know that he'll come out early, but if he does, he'll be drafted probably in the mid-rounds. 12-21, the Bad Boy Mowers Gasparilla Bowl in St. Petersburg, Florida. 7 p.m. on ESPN between FIU and Temple. Top prospect for FIU is senior tight end Pharaoh McIver, who I'm still waiting and hoping he gets into an all-star game. And number 10, senior corner Mike Jones, 5'11", 187 for Temple, senior corner. 12-22 is the Idaho Potato Bowl between Wyoming and Central Michigan. That's 3 p.m. on ESPN. For Wyoming, their top prospect is going to be junior quarterback Josh Allen. Question is, will he play in this game? That has not been determined. They also have a good-looking safety prospect in junior number 28, Andrew Wingard. For Central Michigan, their top prospect is Senior Bowl invite number 83, senior tight end Tyler Conklin, former basketball player, 6'4", 240, great in the red zone, great hands, good route runner. Let's move on to a week from Saturday, 12-23 in the Birmingham Bowl, USF and Texas Tech, 11 a.m. on ESPN. For USF, senior quarterback Quentin Flowers, who I believe will get a Shrine Game invite. That is the rumor, to play quarterback. Also get a look at number 3, senior corner Dietrich Nichols, a 5'10", 189-pounder. For Texas Tech, they have already, Shrine Game has already invited their quarterback, senior Nick Shimanek. The Armed Forces Bowl between Army and San Diego State. That's 2:30 p.m. on ESPN. Army has their offensive tackle Brett Toth is going to play in the Shrine Game. He could get some NFL looks, maybe a late rounder, undrafted free agent. He's definitely got the size and build to play the outside, but it's always tricky with the academy commitments and such. For San Diego State, their top prospect is going to be senior running back Rashad Penny, the do-it-all player. He'll be at the Senior Bowl. Their senior tight end David Wells, number 88, will be at the Shrine Game. He's also a good overall tight end prospect. Continuing on that Saturday, the Dollar General Bowl here in Mobile between Appalachian State and Toledo, 6 p.m. on ESPN. For App State, their top prospect should be number 70, senior offensive guard Colby Gossett, a 6'6", 320-pound player. for Toledo, Logan Woodside. Good mid-round quarterback prospect to keep an eye on there. On Christmas Eve, the Hawaii Bowl between Fresno State and Houston, 7:30 p.m. on ESPN. I don't have any Fresno State players on my watch list. I've only watched one game of theirs this year, but a turnaround season for Coach Jeff Tedford and his team. Played in the Mountain West Championship game, came up short, but good bowl destination for them. Get to go to Hawaii and play Houston, who has a couple of senior wide receivers, Linnell Bonner and Stephen Dunbar, that can play at the next level. That's going to do it for Bowl Preview 1 of 3. As always, follow me on Twitter at Deep Fried Draft, Facebook.com/Deep Fried Draft, YouTube, and the Bumpers app in the App Store. Later.